Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The agenda meeting and regular meeting of the Monroe Township Council of May 6, 2024 is called to order. Would we all please rise to honor our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Township Clerk, please read the Sunshine Law into the record.
Roll call.
Oh, sorry, that's it. Roll call.
Councilman Charles DePiero.
Here.
Councilman Michael Markell.
Here.
Councilwoman Rupa P. Siegel.
Here.
Council Vice President Terrence Van Zora.
Here.
Council President Miriam Cohen.
Here. Would you please read the Sunshine Law into the record?
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, it is hereby announced and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting that adequate notice has been provided by the following. 1, posted on the bulletin boards within the municipal building on December 29, 2023, and remains posted at that location for public inspection. 2, printed in the Home News Tribune and the Cranberry Press on December 29, 2023. 3, posted on the Monroe Township website. And 4, sent to those individuals who have requested personal notice. In accordance with Chapter 3, Section 17 of the Monroe Township Code, public comment shall be limited to 5 minutes unless further time is granted by the council president.
Thank you. Item 5 on our agenda is proclamations and presentations. Proclamations include Monroe Township Day of Prayer, May 2nd, 2024, Apraxia Awareness Day, May 14th, Om Parikh Day, May 19th, Holocaust Days of Remembrance, April 28th through May 6th. Municipal Clerks Week, to our right, May God Donuts is a present earlier today. May 5th through May 11th. National Police Week, as our officer is in the back of the room, and Peace Officers Memorial Day, May 15th through the 21st. National Public Works Week, May 19th through the 25th. EMS Week, May 19th through the 25th. May is Military Appreciation Day month, so to all our veterans who are with us, we do have appreciation for the service you gave to our country. May is Jewish American Heritage and Appreciation Month. May is Building Safety Month. And while not on this list, to my fellow nursing colleagues who may be in the audience, this is Nurses Week. Thank you so much. We will move to the presentations tonight. The Human Relations Commission annual ceremony, which honors and has awards presented to those students who exemplify the 6 pillars of character: caring, responsibility, respect, fairness, citizenship, and trustworthiness. I would like to ask our mayor, the Honorable Stephen Delina, to come forward, please. And I would like at this moment to introduce as well Harjeet Verdi, who is the chairwoman of the Human Relations Commission.
Thank you, Madam Council President. This is a time we come together as a community to highlight our shining stars. I can speak for all of the members of the council and the administration. This is an event that we so very much look forward to every year, especially now in a time of such tumult, that we come together as a community to celebrate again those good citizens. Obviously, the recipients here, the parents and the caregivers that are here. As a father of 2 now grown adult men, as a parent, as a caregiver, you want your young ones to learn how to be good citizens in the world that we all need to share. And I just want to congratulate you all and thank you all so very, very much. And you're going to see me taking pictures with all of the award winners. The younger ones, I got to bend down a lot, so I've worked out. I took a lot of Advil beforehand. But it's such an honor and privilege to be here with you and celebrate those good citizens. Obviously, I want to thank the commission, and I'm going to turn it over to Harjeet Singh to continue with the accolades that you're all going to receive tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Stephen Delina. Good evening, everyone. I'm Harjeet Verdi, Chairperson for Monroe Township Human Relations Commission. This is actually my favorite event of the year, when we recognize one student from every school and grade in Monroe Township for demonstrating good character. The school selects one student from each grade who exemplifies 6 pillars of character: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. Before I start announcing the name, I would like to recognize Eileen Binas, who is the Secretary for Human Relations Commission and work with school and teachers to get these recommendations for the Good Character Award. She's actually in Florida attending her daughter's graduation today, so could not make it today. And I would like to thank all members of Human Relations Commission who volunteer their time and work to make Monroe a more inclusive township, where diversity and inclusion is valued and where everyone should feel respected and get feeling of belongingness. I would request all HRC members to stand if they are present in the audience. Now, as I speak the name of the awardee, they should come in the front, take their certificate and cookies from Mayor Delina and pose for the picture with him, and then go back and have a seat. In the end, we'll get a group picture with all the awardees together with HRC members and with Mayor Delina. So with that, I'll start the award ceremony. Our first awardee is from Applegarth, Abhinav Bejulal.
Yeah.
Anya Patel. Next we have Barclay Brook School, Charlotte Yu. Connor D. Adario.
So cute.
Hey, listen, if you ever want barbecue food, all right, down on 33, we'll serve it up right for you.
Jose Guzman Godinez.
Got one more picture.
Anisha Shende.
Me. So cute. We can borrow them and then return them.
Next we have Brookside School, Nora Wu. Laila Shah. She's Congresswoman Rupa Sehgal's niece. Vihan Dhavaleshwar. Next we have Mill Lake School, Adhya Kshatriya.
Look at this. She may come no closer.
I think you need Dad in the picture.
Zoe Day. Naira Shah. Joy Masood. Nidhan Fadnis.
Look at that little jacket. I want a little kid again.
How's he look, Dad, okay?
Next from Oak Tree School, Satvik Adari. Krivin Patel.
Frightened.
Oh.
We all have days, my friend.
Yeah. Next we have Rhea Shah.
Little girls are always best.
Kai Sterling. Ipsa Moharir. Prisha Parekh.
Mom's in the middle.
From Woodland School, we have Amelia Wood. Khush Sheladia. Monroe Township Middle School, the first awardee is Lucas Waka.
I can't wait to get that.
And Dad there too.
So you know what, the mayor thing, when the mayor has a lot of cameras, right, and you don't know, you look right down the middle.
Lily Jimenez. Ava Cedric.
Here it goes again. She's not making it back in this room.
From Monroe Township High School, Sophia Veroes. Emily Cugini. Madison Roberts. And finally, Justin Graham. So heartiest congratulations to all the winners and congratulations to parents and grandparents.
We thank you, yes. We think we would like to take a break for pictures. Please, I would like us to, we're going to hold this to 5 minutes,
Yep. So we're gonna
That's
have
it.
all the kids come up.
right?
And all the folks from the commission and the council and the mayor. We're gonna take one giant picture, then we'll take a break. I think most of you will probably go home, but you're always welcome to stay. So.
If you go home, can I go with you?
Meeting is reconvened and called to order. The next item, much smaller number of people. The next item on our agenda is the ordinances for second reading. Would the clerk please read the ordinance?
Ordinance 04-2024-007, bond ordinance providing for signal improvements at Old Bridge, Englishtown Road, and Mounts Mills Road in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $2,300,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,190,000 bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Ordinance 04-2024-008, ordinance amending Chapter 97 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Tree Preservation.
Please, item 7, the ordinance is for introduction at the May 6th meeting, please.
Ordinance 05-2024-009, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. Ordinance 05-2024-010, ordinance amending the Code of the Township of Monroe, Section 108-5.27, entitled Stormwater Management.
Item 8 is the resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda at the May 6th regular meeting, R5-2024-128 through R5-2024-150. Members of the council who have reviewed the resolutions, are there any what you wish removed from the consent agenda at this time?
Yes, Council President, I have a few.
Yes, sir.
R5-2024-131,
You there? Okay,
R5-2024-134. That's it.
thank you. Anyone else have anything they wish removed from the consent agenda? We move to the public comment section of our agenda. Remember, it is limited to agenda items only, with 5 minutes per speaker. May I have a motion to open the public comment section?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those wishing to address the council, please come forward, state your name and address for our records.
George Gunkelman, 5 Kelly Court, Monroe.
Yes, sir.
The first ordinance, 007, on page 2, is this just the town's portion, and what's the overall of that? And it says signal improvements. There was no previous signal, so it's just signal.
Mr. Warnberg.
Okay.
It's a, big improvement because there's a.
Big improvement,
This is
right.
our half of it, so the way the agreement reads is we share 50% of the design. The county pays 100% of the construction management, so that's not included in ours. In the construction costs, we split it 50-50, and then if there's any traffic control, we handle that on our end. So our budget came out to about 2.3 for the for our side of the project, and there was also some additional earlier property acquisitions as well. So this is for the Mounts Mills, Old Bridge, Englishtown traffic light. The county is the lead on the project.
What is the typical life expectancy of signalization?
For the-
Mr. Esmoth. As you ponder this.
When you say the life expectancy, I mean, it has to do with traffic in the area. So if traffic significantly changed out there, they'd have to make adjustments to the signal. So it's, so to put a life expectancy on it, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay.
Again, it's dependent on the traffic in the area. So right now, this is anticipated for at least 20 years out to handle the traffic. But if there's substantial changes out there, there may be adjustments to the signal, as you know, that we've done over the years to other traffic signals.
Now, there's this number that's up here. Does it represent all the road work and drainage work as well?
Council President,
Yes,
so this
please.
represents the full construction of the intersection. It includes a tremendous amount of underground piping to handle the storage for the stormwater runoff. It handles, it also includes the widening of the roads out there, the full construction project, not just the signals. So so the bulk of the work will remain for many decades, but the actual traffic signal may be tweaked with timing and whatnot, down the road.
Madam Chair, item in the consent group on page 3, 135.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's $950,000 for media replacement for MTUD.
Yes.
Does that represent for what period of time?
Mr. Stroin?
I turned it on, Joe, it should be working. You can test it.
Very good. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
The period of time will be depending upon the flow that actually goes through the media, Mr. Gunkelman. So typically, the amount of time that media will last is somewhere between 7 and 8 years.
Okay. Don't go far. There's two other items here, or one other item, and that's for Pump Station 2, item 147, and that's $5,698,000. That's for replacing pumps, or what equipment what are we buying for that number?
It's essentially a total rehabilitation of the existing pump station. The existing pump station, I think, as you know, was a hybrid conversion of an old wastewater treatment plant that was used to treat the wastewater coming from Rossmore Leisure Village. And what happened is they converted this wastewater treatment plant when they found out that it was way too expensive to go ahead and expand the capacity of the wastewater treatment plant, so they decided to make it a conveyance station and obviously then have an agreement with the Middlesex County Utilities Authority to do the wastewater treatment. What happened when they did this, however, was, as I said, sort of a hybrid, because it's not actually one pump station, it's two. There's an influent pump station which has capacity limitations, and also an effluent pump station which has capacity limitations. And what happens is they utilize the old process storage tanks to attenuate and flow equalize based on that lack of a mass balance between the two pump stations. So in this particular design project, we're actually totally rehabilitating the pump station into one lift station that will add 2.1 million gallons a day of peak capacity that will enable us to satisfy all of our affordable housing requirements, as well as meet the objectives of the utility element of the master plan.
What's the lifespan of the new equipment?
40 years.
Getting there.
That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
Am I done? Am I out of time?
Oh, no,
Minute.
1 minute left.
That city. 143, that's the bonds. What are we bonding, and what percentage of our budget, and what's the period for retirement? Is this our typical round, or is it more or less, or what's going on?
So it's typical, and if you look at it on the Section 2 of the bond ordinance, it has the entire useful lives for each one of the various bond issues.
And I would look at that where?
It's in Section 2 of the bond. If you look at the bond ordinance itself, it lists every bond ordinance, what they were adopted for. The bond ordinance, is that what you're talking about?
I'm just talking about this one item on the consent agenda.
I think you were referring to the bond resolution, or do I have that wrong?
I am, but the information you're talking about is
143.
not here on what I have.
Oh, yeah, because you only have, I'm just looking at section 2 of the resolution, right? Has all of those provisions, has it in it.
Mr. Weinberg, do you want to comment on this as well?
Yeah, and, the attorney is correct, but it's 14 years for the 22,986,000 on the township side, and it's 25 years for Resolution 144, which is the 13.9 million, and that's the average of all the ordinances, as Lou said.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please come forward now. Please remember, it is to discuss agenda items only. Your name and address for our records, please.
Brittany Pompliano, 66 North Disbrow Hill Road.
Thank you.
I just want to start by saying that I love Monroe and I've helped Monroe anytime they've asked. I've offered to help the community garden. I've helped Monroe Police Department and Animal Control catch animals anytime they're loose in our town. They ask, I'm trying to make a future here for my family and my daughter on the way. I feel that I'm being harassed by a council person due to a personal relationship with a neighbor who is on a personal vendetta against me. From my understanding, it's not even the council person's ward. I've worked with the health department, I've worked with the fire marshal, I've worked with the agricultural department, I've worked with zoning, and I've now worked with the construction office. I have a lawyer and an engineer to sort out the issues on the property. All I'm asking for is the time to do so, and to not have a political official using their position of power due to a personal relationship with my neighbor to harass me. My uncle is also a mayor, and I've never seen him or anyone under him use their political power for a personal manner. I don't wish to out this person because I'm trying to be the bigger person. I would like to go on record and bring this to your attention in hopes that the harassment stops and the council person doesn't continue to intermingle professional and personal relationships. This is not only unprofessional, it is also unethical. So I stand here tonight to ask for help in this matter.
I thank you for your comments.
That's really all I have.
Okay. We will take that under advisement.
I appreciate it.
Anyone else wishing to address the council, please with a reminder that this session is for just the items on the agenda items only.
Sadia Awal, 13 Belmont Court. I'm not sure if my item is on the agenda, but I had sent an email earlier regarding
But-
this.
It's not,
Madam-
so there, later on in the meeting,
do it again.
there's a point where you can speak on any item. This is only for, if you have a question on something that's on our agenda.
Okay.
So if you wait for the regular meeting, which will immediately follow this meeting, we will be pleased to hear you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Your name and address for our records,
Brian
please.
Fabiano, 19 Patricia. I just had a quick one. Could you explain what 129 is? Is this different from the flock camera program? This is the county owning it. Looks like two assets when it comes to the cameras.
Mr. Weinberg, please.
That's correct. So the county actually has a different provider, but it does network up with us. We have 20 flock cameras. The county will be installing 2 additional fixed license plate reader cameras, which will connect into our police. They're not flocks, a different brand, but it will benefit us as well. So in order for them to put their 2 cameras in, we need to agree to their agreement in order to get those 2 additional cameras.
Right, so and they're paying for them?
They're paying for the 2,
Right,
yes.
so what's so advantageous for them? Why are they looking to install 2 of them? Is it for their own surveillance outside of what we're doing, or?
So I believe the county is doing this countywide, just with a different vendor. But I asked the chief this question. With the 2 they're going to put in, and they'll coordinate with Monroe Township Police, will also sync to our immediate dispatching computer system as well. So it's a benefit for us to get the additional 2 because it's real-time information to the 20 that we already have.
Sure, no, I agree, anything they're willing to give us, but I just want to make sure that our police department, that they're still the primary on, responding and being in control of what comes through these cameras.
That's correct, and
That's correct.
we're going to get the information in real time to be alerted, just like with the 20 flocks.
Okay, thanks.
It's the use of ARPA money, right? That's the point of it. The
Mr.
county has
Mayor?
the money.
Yes,
I'm
please.
sorry. Thank you, Madam Council President. Unlike Monroe, a lot of other towns of the county have not invested in the flock cameras, so this is the county's way of trying to disperse some security throughout some of the other towns that haven't taken advantage like we have.
And as a follow-up to what the mayor said, I was at a meeting in North Brunswick within the last month, and the police officer commented that their town did not have the flock cameras, and Monroe was far ahead of other communities in installing them and using them.
I would echo the sentiment. My aunt and uncle were just the victims in Piscataway about 3 weeks ago, where they came into the house in the middle of the night to get the key fobs to a luxury car, and Piscataway said they are at the height of these break-ins, right? So it's nice to see. It seems like things have kind of settled down here now that these criminals know that we have these cameras all around. So again, I'll take as many as we can get. Just wasn't sure what the agreement was here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak, please come forward now.
Good evening, Lucille Panos, 1208 Celandera Plaza. Ordinance 007, I understand it was said that we pay for traffic control, but do we get reimbursed? Like I know, say JCP&L is doing some work. They reimburse the police department in my old town, so I hope that we get reimbursed by whatever company that's...
No, actually,
009.
Do you want me to answer the question?
Let me answer them.
She always has a
No, that was
little.
me. I just
Okay,
didn't know
well,
whether you wanted an answer.
Well, because I don't want to. I want to get through my questions in my 5 minutes, and you could take 10 minutes to answer them. 009. How much are you exceeding the municipal budget appropriation limits, and what is the established cap? 130. What are the specifics of the developers agreement? Just some basic specifics. And then there's always my thorn in the side, 137. I imagine this is not an electric or hybrid vehicle, and I say shame on you guys for doing it again. It would be kind of simple. I got a list of the fleet in this town. Let's just, maybe you could recommend that the council take a look at each one of them, because I'm looking at this list. I see there's F-250 Fords that are listed 2007, and they're listed in poor condition. Maybe a little foresight to say, oh, wow, that Ford 250 is, let's look for an electric one or a hybrid one. We need, if you're going to expect people to step up, you need to step up, even though, no, I know, but you didn't, but you don't act on it. Okay, thank you, because it's not.
Don't tell me I'm not doing something when I'm doing something, okay?
How about voting no? That would be doing something, okay? 141, what department or who will be the registrar or deputy registrar? And I guess the municipal budget, it's online. I didn't get to look at it. I just see that it's online. But so we submit questions before the next council meeting, so this way you're going to vote on it at the next council meeting, so the public...
The hearing is the next public meeting.
There are no hearings in between?
No.
The public's not invited to the departmental hearings?
The budget hearing is next month.
But is the public invited? Do you have departmental meetings, and is the public invited?
I am,
Before the introduction of the budget?
No, like it's introduced
You
tonight.
don't, you never have department hearings in the middle of the budget. They would be before the budget. The budget's not been
Okay,
introduced.
so you didn't have them before either? Did you have departmental meetings with department heads before this budget that the public was allowed to
The budget
attend?
was established through the administration, and all data that was needed to be collected was collected, and the budget was prepared.
That's
We
not
will
my
introduce
question,
it
thank
tonight.
you. My
Then I'm-
question was there department meetings, and was the public invited? And it's a yes or no?
The answer is no.
Thank you. Okay, so now if you could answer the rest of my questions.
Oh, good.
You
Mr.
want me
Warren.
to start with the reimbursement? Under state
Sure.
law, when a contractor does a project for a public entity, the cost for traffic control is a pass-through to the public entity. When a private entity like JCP&L does if they break up a road for some reason and they need traffic control, then they're responsible for paying that directly.
Okay, good.
But on public projects, under the local public contracts law, those are pass-through costs to us, so we would pay it.
Okay, but just, like, say the traffic lights, does JCP&L have anything to do with them?
No.
All right, thank you.
You're thinking of street lights, not traffic lights. Street lights they do, traffic lights they
Right,
don't.
well, I was just thinking light, but thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
009.
Yeah, I was just going to get to
Oh,
that.
sorry.
So
He's
00
just turning to his page.
Sure. 009, this is the 1977 appropriations cap. Automatically, every town gets 2.5%. Almost every town that I'm aware of asks for an additional 1%, particularly a town like ours. We're still approximately $1.5 million under the cap, and it's certainly a prudent thing, and we've always done the ordinance to add the extra 1%. So that's 009. On 030,
So what is this established?
I was just,
cap?
It's a cap bank.
Good bank.
We're banking the authorization we are allowed to do it for a 3 year.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
We're not actually exceeding it.
correct. On 130, the logistics center, I don't know if, Joe, you want to answer this question? MTED?
This is an agreement that we have been doing now for the last 5 or 6 years, whereby we clearly outline the responsibilities of the developer, and we clearly outline the responsibilities of the township, especially as it relates to the fees that are going to be paid by the developer for the specific project.
Thank you.
So that's available online, correct?
It is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Attached to the resolution.
Right, I just didn't get a chance to read everything tonight. I was so interested in the vehicles.
137 is replacing a 2005 vehicle with 142,000 miles on it. As I mentioned in previous meetings, we are looking to see where we can purchase electric or hybrid vehicles through our co-op system. It's been difficult. I was just at a procurement conference last week, and many folks are having a similar challenge being able to get electric or hybrid vehicles. It's certainly on our list to see how we can successfully do that. Moving up on 141, this is just the state certification of registrars, if they've passed the test. I don't know, Christine, if you want to add anything to that?
The registrar's office is within the clerk's office. We issue all the
thank you.
vital
I
records
just want to
within the
make sure
clerk's
that's
office.
where it was. All right, thank you all.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to come before the council now? Please do so. Seeing and hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public comment section, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. May I have a motion to adjourn the agenda meeting, please?
Motion.
Thank you. Second on that.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel?
Yes.
Council Vice President Vanzora?
Yes.
Council President Cohen?
Yes. Meeting is adjourned. The agenda meeting is adjourned. Regular meeting is now called to order. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel?
Yes.
Council Vice President Vanzora?
Yes.
Council President Cohen?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the payments of claims per the
Coun-
run date of May 1st,
Council
2024?
President, I have a question on the bill list.
Yes, sir.
I noticed on page 24 and 25, there's cell towers, and the bills go back to 2021, 2022, and 2023, and it's under the Storm Recovery Fund. What exactly, they're named Cell Tower 1 through 7. Can I get a clarification on that?
Sure.
Mr. Weinberg, please.
Yep, those I believe are, I know are escrow payments that were submitted to us recently as part of different escrow accounts for different cell towers that were installed. There's still money in the escrow, and the bills were submitted against that escrow.
Okay, so that was for planning or zoning application?
Correct.
Okay, thank you for
You're
the
welcome.
clarification.
And may I have my motion now?
So moved.
May I have my second on that, please?
Second.
May I have a roll call?
Councilman DePiero?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3 is the approval of minutes. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the following meetings as written and presented. March 4th, 2024, the agenda and regular combined meeting. April 1st, 2024, agenda and regular combined meeting. Motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Would the clerk please read the ordinance for second reading, 04-2024-007?
Ordinance providing for signal improvements at Old Bridge Englishtown Road and Mounts Mills Road in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $2,300,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,190,000 bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
Anyone wishing to address the council on this ordinance only, please come forward. Hearing and seeing none, I'll have a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt 04-2024-007?
So moved.
Thank you, sir. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Would you, clerk, please read 04-2024-008?
Ordinance amending Chapter 97 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Tree Preservation.
These amendments are to comply with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection recommendations. May I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Yes. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Anyone wishing to address the council on this motion, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I'll have a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt 04-2024-008, please?
Motion.
Second.
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 Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Ordinance 05-2024-009. It's an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. This is an ordinance for introduction. May I have a motion, please?
Moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 05-2024-010, an ordinance amending the Code of the Township of Monroe, Section 108-5.27, entitled Stormwater Management. Parenthetically to this, it says privately owned salt storage. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6 is resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda, R5-2024-128 through R5-2024-150, minus the following.
With the exceptions of R5 2024-131 and R5 2024-134.
Thank you. May I have a motion to that effect, please?
So moved.
Thank you, sir. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
No.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolutions removed from the consent agenda for consideration. Motion, please.
That's for R5 2024-131 and R5 2024-134.
Motion.
So moved.
Thank you. A second on that, please.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Abstain?
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We will move to the report section of our agenda. Mr. Weinberg.
Yes, be somewhat brief, Council President. So I do want to make a note to thank Joe for the Pump Station 2 project that was announced earlier. We got 5 bids on that project and came in where we wanted to be. So thank you to Joe and his team for putting that together. Special thank you also to Parks. This is, I mentioned it the last time, but this is the busiest season for them, and every time it rains, they have to fight to sort of keep up with everything, and so they're working really hard. So hats off to our Parks Department. Do want to mention, and he'll be here next month, that Wayne Horvat finished his retirement after 22 years as our DPW director, and he'll be here at the June 5th meeting, so I want to thank him. And then finally, thank the council for letting us to go to permanent financing that was mentioned earlier. We do this every few years, and with our AA+ bond rating, it helps us achieve better results. So thank you, Council President.
You're most welcome. Mr. Rasmowitz.
Thank you, Council President. Just an update on a couple projects. The Monroe Township Police Station building, that site work is well underway. The old cell tower has been removed. Storm sewer is being installed, and the fuel pumps were removed. Halsey Reed Road Emergency Services Building, the drainage of concrete was completed, and we anticipate paving a little later this month. And lastly, the traffic signal at Applegarth and Joan Warren Way. The work has started out there today. Please be careful when you're driving through that area during construction. And that's my report.
Thank you. We'll move to council reports. Start with Councilman DePiero, please.
Thank you. I also wanted to say happy Nurses Week, as you said before,
thank
Madam
you.
President. We did have plenty of nurses in here, and we support them every day. So I wanted to put a shout out to the nurses, say Happy Nurses Week. Also, we forgot, it's also Teachers Appreciation Week. So I wanted to say thank you to our teachers and everyone involved in our schools that help our teachers we just witnessed today, a great group of people that's our future. So I just wanted to put that out to the teachers as well. And Monroe Township, of course, is doing a performance at the Senior Center on May 19th. It's called Live, Laugh, and Love. And children through high school are free, and adults are $15. It starts at 1:30. It's on a Sunday. I just wanted to put that out there for the public. I had a suggestion at the rec center. I spoke to Mary Lang about this. If possible, our engineer could look at a walkway that lights up from our school to our rec center. It's something that we have at our high school going across the high school to the middle school. So it's something that's for safety. I don't know if there's grants. I don't know with the budget in front of us. I didn't get a chance. We just got this on Friday night. I didn't get a chance to look at capital improvements. But it's something that's safety, and there are a lot of children that come across that between the school and the rec center. I wanted to talk about Laurie Street. We all attended BFI meeting there that was conducted by BFI. We just listened to the residents in BFI. But I noticed on Laurie Street there's no repairs done to the curbing. I know L&L Paving did some paving, but the curbs are still not completed. So I just wanted to see if we can get that done. Also, top paving, at the Schoolhouse Road, across from the firehouse, it looks like the water has been fixed, the leak. The top paving is needed at the schoolhouse across from Central Firehouse. The community cleanup the mayor and I attended was on Prineville Road, and it was something that we had DPW there, we had our police, and we had a lot of volunteers. But I definitely wanted to put a shout out to Stop and Shop. They went over and above. They were out there from the beginning all the way to the end. And I'm talking managers, assistant managers, and they also said to tell the community if there's something that's one of our Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, or cheerleaders, whatever there's needed from Stop and Shop, that they have an open door and they're willing to help our community. So I think by walking the streets and picking up garbage from Prospect Plains to Union Valley, that's saying something for management to come out there on a Saturday. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone involved. And as Alan always says, if you have a group, we have a grant that can give to a group, so please look into that as well. We, some of us attended, along with the mayor, we attended the community garden. We received a grant from the DEP, and it was, I think a lot of DEP was there, Green Acres were there. It was a very beautiful day, and it was a successful day. And I wanted to thank Center State for getting the grant, and also for the work that they're going to do to design this inclusive playground that's well needed. And I just think that that's putting the community together, and it's something that's well needed, and the community gardening is really growing, which is a good thing for our community. So I just wanted to thank everybody. I got a question about open space. If our website can include open space, example, how many acres are wetlands, how many acres are tillable land. Also, if we generate any money from farmland, open space, because I do know surrounding towns, they charge by the acre. Approximate average is $130 an acre. So I'd just like to know tillable land, how much wetlands, how much uplands do we have? If that's something we could add to the website, I'd appreciate it. The past month or so, I sent a few emails, and I've been spending some time on Avenue K, and through our community, I've noticed a lot of electric-powered scooters coming out with the weather, and I brought it to the attention of our chief of police and also to our business administrator to enforce helmets for safety. It's something that we should have signage up on our parks and our properties, just to make everyone aware that that's the law, helmets are needed, and if we can enforce it. I don't want to be calling the cops every time I see it, but it's just something that our police should enforce as they patrol our communities. It's just for the children's safety. Also, I walked Applegarth Road, the county paving that was done. I noticed some of the valves, I don't know, risers, if we use risers anymore, manholes, valves, and I noticed in the past that county is good for filling in our catch basins with asphalt and debris, and also filling our valves with asphalt and debris. So I don't know if Joe had our crew go out there to make sure that all these valves are working after the paving, and if there's something that needs to be updated as a GIS, if that all needs to be updated. So if we do have a problem, that we're updated with the change along with our records. So I just wanted to point those out. Thank you for your time.
You're most welcome. Thank you. Mr. Councilman Mark Helpling?
Okay, I'd just like to point out a few things.
I attended the National Prayer Day at Rossmore. They have an interfaith committee there. So I read the proclamation there. There's probably about 50 to 60 people. It was a very nice hour and 10 minutes. And it was bringing people together from all faiths. It was really very nice. I just think people should be aware of that event, which is open to Monroe, not just Rossmore residents. As far as the Holocaust Remembrance Day, I'd like to give a shout out to the Henry Rickless Committee. That's a committee in here in Monroe that their goal is to keep the remembrance of the Holocaust. They did it with Human Relations. We had the remembrance at the Senior Center. Approximately 400 people were there. It was a nice event. Also like to say, as far as Teacher Appreciation Week, the last couple of weeks I spent a few days here and there in some of our public schools reading to the kids, and I was also honored to be interviewed for a book that they're writing they wrote at Applegarth. Yeah. Just want to say the kids, from today, I just want to give a shout out to these teachers. The kids were fantastic. I couldn't have been happier. They were so polite, so inviting, and they asked me some pretty interesting questions, which I'd rather not get into here. They were kind of surprised with my answers. Being my age, I kind of there was a little bit of a gap between a 11-year-old and me, but it was a great experience. The only other thing I'd like to say is it's National Police Week is the week of May 15th. There's nothing bothers me more than the police, when the police get disrespected. These police have such a hard job. I've been reading about a lot of police, state troopers being injured and even killed lately. And that's something that we have to keep in our minds and hearts. And just remember, for National Police Week, let's remember that all year, not just that week. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Councilwoman Siegel, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Just a couple comments and a few items to share. So I know there were many proclamations here on the agenda today, and there were many honoring some of our different departments in our area, in our municipality, the Municipal Clerks Week, National Police Week, and Peace Officers Memorial Day, National Public Work Weeks, Emergency Medical Service Week. So I just want to recognize everyone and thank all those that are involved in these departments throughout our municipality. They work very hard day in and day out to keep our citizens safe and to provide all the services that they do. I also want to extend a congratulations to Greg Slavacek in his new role as Director and Superintendent of the Department of Public Works. Look forward to working with him in his new role. Last month I had mentioned about this program, Know Your Government, at the library, and I just want to say it was a wonderful program that was done by the League of Women Voters, and there was a great overview by Kevin McGowan on our local government and Monroe departments and how we function and how our facilities work. So if I do want to recommend, we did ask the League of Women Voters to do this again because it was a great program. So if you do see it, mark your calendars. It's wonderful to hear and to see how everything ties together. Just a couple other things. Our Cultural Arts Commission, they're very busy working on our summer concert lineup. The series is starting. The first concert is Thursday, July 11th, so look out for more information on the lineup. Mark your calendars when you see that. And our Historic Preservation Commission had their first open house this last Sunday. I know it was a little rainy, but open houses for Dye Farm, if you haven't visited, our first Sunday of each month from May through October. And our Youth Advisory Commission, I know I've been reporting the last couple months, they have been working on a wellness fair, and it's finally here this Saturday. They are co-sponsoring this with Mayor Delina's wellness campaign. It's also Mental Health Awareness Month this month, so it ties in very nicely. They have been partnering with representatives from Middlesex County Division of Addiction and Mental Health Planning our Monroe Township Health Advisory Commission, EMS, and Robert Wood Johnson. So please do try to stop by. It starts at 10 a.m. at the Senior Center. Lots of great presentations. And this past weekend, there was a ribbon cutting ceremony at Monroe Township Boot Camp. So just want to welcome this new training facility to Monroe and wish them all the best. And then I did want to share a story. I have to thank Mr. Weinberg because it's interesting. My little story is when that earthquake happened early in April, it was a work day, it was a Friday, I was on a conference call, and nobody knew what was happening. We were just, everyone's messaging what's going on. And get off the call, and I have a message from Alan, and I get off the phone, he tells me what's going on. Literally 2 minutes later, my boss calls me and says, I'm calling you first because I wanted to find out, was it really an earthquake? Because I figured the township administration would call you. So I want to thank you because I feel like everyone comes to me now at work and outside, so you're not just here in Monroe, you're influencing in other areas. So I thank you for always keeping us informed.
Salary stays the same, though?
Yeah.
I'm the earthquake updater.
Yes. No, so I really thank you because we appreciate you always keeping us well informed of what's happening so that we can report back to people where we need to. So thank you. And that is my update.
Yes, Council Vice President.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome.
First, want to comment on the young children that were here earlier this evening, exemplifying the 6 pillars of character. I actually have a T-shirt that says, "Be nice, it's really not that hard." And that's put out by organizations that support people that suffer from, mental health issues and things like that, people that might be considering suicide. When you run into someone, you never know what they're going through. So the theory is just try and be nice to people. And it's just a simple thing that doesn't cost anything. I see these young kids come in here. Some kids are probably smarter than others. Some are not as smart. Some may be more privileged. They come from different backgrounds. But they all go through the 6 pillars of character, which is basically being nice to other people. And I just love it because you start at an early age and they start to train them that way and they act that way. It continues on through life. And boy, it'd be something if we could see a whole lot more of that as we go forward. So congratulations to all the people who helped with the program and to the children themselves who took the necessary steps. May 19th is going to be the annual On Memorial run for the benefit. That's the young gentleman who passed away at an early age, and it's always a very good event. It raises awareness of the illnesses and things of that nature. May 27th, our annual Memorial Day at Veterans Park. Look forward to that. Everyone is welcome to come. I did want to throw out a couple of things. First of all, I want to compliment Mr. Weinberg on how they went about with the refinancing of our bonds and stuff. It's a little thing that not that many people notice when it's going on. It's like a behind-the-scenes thing, but that's the kind of thing that keeps our AA+ bond rating. And I think it's important to have somebody that actually takes effect, because it would be just easy to go about and do nothing. So thank you for that. I also want to thank Kevin McGowan, who's been working on the solar initiative. That is one of my biggest things that I keep pushing them and everything. They're working with another company. We're hoping, it looks like they're making a lot of good progress to the point where we'll have a lot more solar initiative type things as we move forward in the next few months and over the next year, which can only be good for the town. Water safety. I was reading articles earlier in the month about how there's a lot of danger with the waters in all sorts of different towns. I got a chance to speak to Joe Stroin about it. As I expected, Joe explained to me that Monroe is about the safest water that you could have, and it's always good to know that. He explained all the details as to why that is. about half of it I might have been able to comprehend, but it's reassuring to know that when you drink your water, it's safe. So, other than that, I just want to mention on the national front, I'm glad to see that we're finally getting some funding for the people in Ukraine, which desperately needed it. It took a while, but at least certain people stepped up so that we could do that. And let's just hope that sometime in the near future we could have some peace in the Mideast. So thank you, folks. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to mention, I think it's maybe 2 years ago, we formed a health advisory council, and it was a rocky start. Maybe it was 3, which I was very grateful to the mayor that I was able to do that. And now we have a well-established team, and we are beginning to be able, notice I need a lot of little explainers, but we will be at the health fair at the high school this week. There will be a table. Members of the Health Advisory Council will be at the fair on Saturday. And we have folks who have joined us who have expertise in nutrition and in diabetes. And we look forward to being part of the mayor's wellness campaign and being able to educate residents of our community. So I feel really feel very good about that. It really makes me feel good. And Councilwoman Siegel, as you know full well, it is not unusual for our business administrator to work a minimum of 6 days a week. There is a Starbucks that he must own by now because his laptop and some sort of coffee pot are there over the weekend.
I feel like it's my last meeting.
It's not, but it always makes me smile when we finally remember to say something nice about the hours he works. So I think you should keep the location of that Starbucks hidden before someone comes to find you there, and so that wouldn't be really a good thing. So your secret workplace should stay secret, and we know how lucky we are to have you. So tonight we've chosen to embarrass you just a little. I would like to ask our mayor, please, for his report for this evening.
Thank you.
No.
There goes your microphone. Just come up a microphone.
Hang on. Let's try it now.
There we go.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you, Madam Council President. As you're aware of, this is the end of the semester for the academic calendar. So you're going to get the end of the semester mayoral report. So I'm a little subdued, a little tired. Graded about 35 essays today. I got another 25 left before I have to submit my grades on Tuesday night. So the fervor in which I deliver my report may not be there, so
We'll bear with you, sir.
thank you. Before I start my report, Councilman DePiero had mentioned about the helmets, and I have talked to our chief of police in regards to that, and there is obviously the police, they are the professionals. They look at their own organization throughout the nation in the best way to get that kid to put a helmet on. It is very difficult unless something tragic happens, and we don't want that here, obviously. So there is a program that our police have been doing, and they are continuing to do, is to catch a kid wearing a helmet, and they give them a ticket, and the ticket is for a free pizza slice in one of the establishments. They have assured me that some of the pizza places didn't want to participate because it was so successful. But the police were able to persuade to roll it out again, the program. So it is on the minds of our police, and obviously I trust in their instincts, their professionalism to do the best job in ensuring that we don't have that tragic situation ever occur here in our town. Just a couple items regarding some past events that I've attended or been to. Thank the council members for bringing up a number of them already. obviously on the 28th, the Henry Rickless Holocaust Memorial event at the Senior Center. I do want to thank the committee, the Rickless Committee, as well as the Human Relations Committee, in putting together such a wonderful, solemn, educational event. And when it was time for me to deliver my proclamation, I said we live in a time of tumult, and I had mentioned it earlier before, this time that we live in, and I feel education is the greatest tool to use in regards to thwarting the gloom and the doom. And I think the program last Sunday reached that level. It was also mentioned about having the NJDEP commissioner, as well as other state dignitaries, come to Monroe Township for a statewide press release in the grants that they are giving out to many municipalities throughout the state, and they chose Monroe Township for that press release. And that's pretty significant. All of these dignitaries there said, we wanted to come to Monroe Township because, and it's quote unquote, we do things right. They had said they were, obviously, we have to thank Kevin McGowan for starting that process for the grants, right, to ensure there's grants out there, and then to provide an excellent application to that grant. And when they received the grant, it was so well written, but the story behind it is that, and I go back to our master plan, and the amount of survey results was astonishing. They couldn't believe that many people participated in the master plan. Obviously, one of the top items for the master plan was recreation, which we're pretty good at. So in that application, it was the story was told, and they said, "Wow, that just doesn't happen." And I said, "Well, it happens here in Monroe Township." So to have them here was certainly a privilege, but we deserved it in the way that we do things here, and I do want to thank everybody. And it's that all-inclusive playground. It's the expansion of an already existing crown jewel recreational facility, and we all know that I love bathrooms in our parks, and to have an ADA compliant bathroom down there, and again the thirst to have recreational facilities down the southern end of the town was critical. So I was glad we were able to do that. I presented the Military Appreciation Month proclamation to the Monroe veterans at the Monroe Veterans Movie Night hosted at Stonebridge. I want to thank the Stonebridge veterans for hosting. The movie was called The Last Full Measure, and as what was mentioned earlier by Council Vice President Vanzura, Memorial Day will be held on May 27th at 9:30 at Veterans Park. Hope to see you there. Obviously, another thing that I always enjoy, speaking of recreation, is attending with a number of other council members the opening day ceremonies at James Monroe Park. It was cold. It was cold, but it was well attended. And I decided to do a little role reversal. Normally, I throw out the first pitch, but I said, you know what, let a kid enjoy throwing out the first pitch. So I was the catcher. First pitch was a little outside. I gave him another go at it, and he certainly threw a strike. So it's certainly good memories being built there down at James Monroe Park. Ribbon cutting at Monroe Township Boot Camp. You got that one was already highlighted. Oh, speaking of a highlight for myself and the schools and the teachers and especially the students, I had the opportunity to speak to the Monroe Township High School Student Council as part of their National Leadership Week. It was very well attended. Kind of told them my life collegiate story, which is quite checkered, and I think they appreciated that. And obviously, just told them about leadership. And one of the leadership traits that I stressed to them was to be able to listen. And I think that's something that sometimes could be learned, but you have to listen to be a good leader. and then how you process what you listen is the next step, and then obviously the last step is action. So I think they got, I think the future is certainly bright in Monroe Township with the young men and women that I met. Just 2 items on the agenda I want to note. Certainly want to thank the council for approving these 2 particular items, having our new director, Greg Slavicek. I think Greg is going to do a great job. Got to have a lunch with our outgoing director, Wayne Horbat, just this last week. I know he's going to be coming in next month to provide some accolades for the service that he provided. And then secondly, the 2 additional flock license plate reader cameras to add to our already arsenal. So now we have 22 in total, which is good. Upcoming events, shredding. This is something new. Normally we have the county come in, do the shredding maybe once a quarter or once a few months, but here in Monroe Township, we've decided that it's such a needed resource that we will be doing it on the following. On the second Saturday of the months of May, July, September, and November. This is an event. The next one will be May 11th between 8 a.m. and 11:45 at our DPW Recycling Center on 76 Gravel Hill Road. We will collect the papers until the truck is full. So, Rupa, Councilwoman Siegel mentioned May 11th. May 24th, Spray Park opens. That's always exciting. Hopefully it's a good day, but the kids don't care if it's cold, so that's that. Finally, one other highlight is on May 28th is our first township-wide garage sale from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check with your HOA if you live in a senior community. They've all been notified. If you would like to participate, please reach out to my office and we will certainly add you to a very large burgeoning list. And finally, since we have our wonderful clerk staff here, let me be the first to say to you, it's the beginning of Municipal Clerks Week. Thank you so much for what you do, the assistance that you provide the administration, our council here, as well as the citizens. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Council President.
My pleasure, and I graded all my papers, and every grades are handed in. Just thought I'd mention that. Just needed to say that. And I got a donut because it's Clerks Week. So I got a donut. I should have done without. Yes, and the clerk has something she would like to share with all of us.
I just wanted everyone to know that the regular meeting schedule for May 29th at 6:30 has been rescheduled, so the next council meeting will be Wednesday, June 5th at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you. On that note, I would like a motion to open the public comment period, please.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Those wishing to address the council, please come forward. It is a 5-minute time limit, and you must please state your name and address for our record.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. I do also want to thank the clerk staff, the township municipal staff. I have always been treated with really grace, and everyone's always been wonderful. So I thank you. You do a great job. I know sometimes I ask the same question over again, but everyone's been very courteous, and I think we have a great staff, and we should be very proud of them and very courteous to them when we come in, right? I would be remiss, since I was I grew up in the late 60s, early 70s, and I guess you might say I believed in really openness and concern about, and I was a sociology major. So the resolution about the execution of a memorandum with the County of Middlesex and the Prosecutor's Office regarding installation and responsibilities associated with automatic license plate recognition. I know in this day and age, everybody's worried about violence and crime and all that kind of stuff. I'm worried about over-surveillance. Monroe, and let's face it, we sort of have a Democratic state, a Democratic county, and a Democratic town, and I'm wondering if this is very democratic that we do this. I know some people are willing to sacrifice their freedom for what they consider safety. I'm not one of them. I believe that we should not have a surveillance state, and I would ask to be cautious about the use of such things. And I also have heard in the past, most recently in this room, some citizens have asked about surveillance cameras throughout the city, throughout the town. And again, I would ask that we are judicious about these things. I imagine that these are things that are going to happen regardless of my particular political persuasion about that. But let us respect our citizens. Let us have an open democracy. And I would ask that the mayor and the town council and the police department are judicious. And, you know, people say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. Well, who's making that decision? And something that I may think is not wrong, somebody else may think it is. And I think we have to be very careful. So I wasn't happy about this. I know it's part of what's going on. In any case, I would like to thank the township and the mayor and actually Councilman DePiero for talking about the environment. When I leave Monroe and go to other places, I'm actually astonished about how little recycling other places do in New Jersey, and then of course outside of the state. So I am grateful for the kind of environmental programs that we have and initiatives that we have had over the years. And I think we should encourage our citizens to even be more accommodating. And since I have the podium right now, when people put out their recycling, they should not put them in plastic bags. I know the Public Works Department has tried to get that message out, but if we could do something about that, recycling materials should not be contained in plastic bags. We have our containers, and I know the Green team and the Environmental Commission are trying to get that word out, but, you know, thank you for indulging me in that one. And I think, like I said, we've had great environmental successes, but I also hope that going forward, and Mr. McGowan, I think, is doing a great job. But with our master plan, I think sometimes the construction and the need for affordable housing, and then the protection of our natural resources in Monroe, I think we have to keep on that and make sure that plan going forward is not compartmentalized, that the plan is an overall plan with our community so we can maintain our wonderful resources and our great environment. So thank you all for listening.
Thank you for your comments. Your name and address for our records, please, sir.
Brian Fabiano, 19 Patricia Place. I think there's a common misconception. I wasn't going to talk about the cameras again, but it's my understanding in reading about it, these are not active surveillance cameras, right? So if you're not driving a stolen car, I really don't think you have much to worry about. I mean, am I wrong in that assumption? I mean,
Do you have further?
My understanding is that, yes, it is
license
alerting the
plates.
police when there's a stolen vehicle or a
License
felony
plates.
warrant entering into the town.
right. So I would sacrifice my quote-unquote freedom for that any day, because the minute they show up to your house and they're robbing your cars or your house, or they're in your house in the middle of the night, I mean, I can't imagine that tracking criminals and stolen vehicles would trump our well-being. But anyhow, I want to talk about something. Actually, I was a little bit disturbed by hearing a young lady up here earlier. She spoke not about the ordinances in that section, but she spoke about what she felt was retaliation by a council person in her ward. And I know that North Disborough Road, I believe, is Ward 2. I come here tonight with a similar concern. And that concern is after reading a recent Oprah of a citizen that lives in Ward 2 that was reported by Councilman DePiero, who happens to be council representative in my ward, Ward 3. And while I don't know, because I didn't have the opportunity to ask her, my assumption is that was speaking about the same council person that I'm here to speak about tonight, and what I think is just a real shame of how a council person should really hold their seat and how they should treat members and constituents in this community that they're elected to represent. In this situation, I read an Oprah report where just about two and a half weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks at this point, Councilman DePiero, who again is Ward 3, made a complaint about a resident in Ward 2 about having a dead tree on his property. And while that might not sound like a big issue, you have a dead tree on your property and there might be an ordinance that says you can't have that, I find it odd that that citizen, first and foremost, had a big election sign on a berm. I believe that's, I don't know the road there, Mount Road, I believe it is, in Ward 2. And there happened to be by that 4x4 Board of Education election sign a dead tree. I can't find anything in my head to spin in any other way of how or why, attention would be drawn to that one tree, and the councilman would feel that it's a big issue that needs to be made against that particular homeowner. I think it's retaliation simply because, and the homeowner thinks it's that as well. It was not able to be here, but I can't imagine that there was any other intention but to try to retaliate against someone that was hosting a sign that Mr. DePiero was not in agreement with, because he obviously is not supporting those candidates, because he has the opposite candidates a big sign on his real estate property and every other one of his properties in this town, countless properties. So I just think we have to be very careful as a council and governing body here that you don't start to overstep your roles and start to attack members of this community and try to retaliate because your personal political views don't align with others in this community. I think it's shameless. I think it's what cowards do, quite honestly. I live in Ward 3. I drive around all the time, and I don't see Mr. DePiero's dead tree meter working in our ward because I see dead trees everywhere, and I don't see any reports of all those dead trees. And quite frankly, I think Mr. DePiero's properties have quite a few dead trees on them. So I guess I question if this government here in town, who wants to enforce dead trees on some people's properties, is going to do the same for a councilman. Listen, it's pure as day that these type of acts are retaliation, and I'm glad a young woman here, who I don't even know, came and talked about a similar situation. I think this is a systemic problem. I think it should be looked into, and again, I think it is cowardly. And I would ask, I read the Oprah request, or I read the Oprah report that showed the complaint that Mr. DePiero had about this, 8-foot tree that seemed to be causing a lot of harm because it was dead. And I'm just wondering why that report wouldn't have gone to the ward representative. I think Ward 2, Madam President, I don't know, who's Ward 2? Is that Mrs. Siegel? I didn't see her name even on that report or in that email chain. So again, I guess as citizens, we can travestigate around this town and complain, but if we're elected to represent certain wards, we really should be looking to ways to improve the wards that we represent. I say we, I don't represent anything, but you as council people. And I just think it's a disgrace that if we have to resort to starting to attack citizens because they don't agree with us politically. So I would just say do better, and believe me, if that's the way it's going to be, you're going to get a lot more concern here at the microphone. And I appreciate this young lady coming out and expressing her concerns. I know many people are afraid of it. For retaliation. Me personally, I'm not afraid, and I think it needs to stop. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please come forward.
I don't know if I should follow that, even just
Your choice to come to the microphone again, ma'am.
Yes. Lucio Panos, 1208C on
Yes.
Dara Plaza. I'd like to say that cleanup the other day was a wonderful thing. To see all those groups, there was the cheerleaders who didn't mind getting their nails dirty, and there was young children and older children. I will give Councilman DePiero credit, not you. You know, it wasn't just a photo op. His wife and son was out there picking up garbage, and I thought that was admirable of them. Tonight, with these young people, that was really nice to see all these people here. You had the little kids from pre-K, but what impressed me a lot was the teenagers. I mean, little kids, they listen to their mother, their parents, but by the time they're 13, 14, they might think a little differently, but that they still carry on, that they were given the roots. Some ones going off to college, I'd catch them in the hallway. Apparently their parents gave them roots and now giving them wings to be better citizens and better people. And it restored my faith between this weekend to clean up all those people, young people out there. Tonight, boy, I hope they straighten out the world that's happening now. You know, that they move forward. And as far as I used to be a councilwoman, as you may be aware, and I was a councilwoman in one ward, but as you all do, you vote on issues that affect every ward. So if one council person is concerned about another ward, I think that's admirable. I think you should all be concerned about each other's wards. And to be accused of things I think, I hope, I heard, that's, that's very immature. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address us? I believe you did wish to come forward. This is your first time joining us, I understand?
Yes.
So please give us your name and address.
Sadia Awal, 13 Belmont Court.
And you are aware that there is a 5-minute time limit.
Yes, I am.
Please proceed.
Almost 20 years in Monroe.
Microphone.
Almost 20 years in Monroe. This is the first time I'm here in front of the council. I love this town, but this is the first time something has upset me so much that I'm here. I'm here today about a notice served to us regarding a few dead trees on our property, next door to the previous gentleman who, what he was talking about, not the same property. This notice cites the code 63-7, maintenance of premises by owner, and states the dead trees on my property are to be removed. I looked up the code on the Monroe Township website, and this is what the code states. I quote, "The owner or person in control of any private property shall at all times maintain the premises free of litter." Litter, not dead trees. The property is maintained, grass mowed regularly, trees and shrubs taken care of, and there is no litter or junk items stored in the yard. There is no litter on my property. I don't think code 63-7 applies here. The dead trees in question are small trees. The tallest is about 8 to 9 feet at most. They're not in danger of falling over, not a threat to public safety, and do not interfere with existing utility service. They may be unsightly to some people, but these trees serve a purpose. I am working to make my yard pollinator friendly. I volunteer with Environmental Commission. I have been working in my own yard for quite a while now. This means it's not just planting native flowering trees in my garden, but also provide nesting and overwintering habitat. Removing the dead trees would destroy the nesting habitat I am working to build. You may ask, why am I doing this? Well, you may or may not be aware that the pollinator population in this country is declining rapidly, including New Jersey. New Jersey is one of the top 10 producers of pollinator-dependent crops in the U.S., such as blueberries, cranberries, peaches, apples, as well as those summer vegetables we love to buy in the farm stands. The recent census of agriculture shows New Jersey's overall production of fruits and vegetables is valued at $340 million annually. That's a lot of money. Let me give you a local example of what is happening. I was at the Green Fair held at Concordia on Saturday, and I spoke to a beekeeper whose hives are in the East Windsor area. He gets calls from farmers around the state looking for bees, and so he drives his bees around the state to pollinate their crops. This is the Garden State. Imagine what it is around the country. I have also with me literature from United States Department of Agriculture. I spoke to them about this, and they gave me this to show you. Please take a look when you get a chance. They also gave me this booklet published by the agency. It is called Be a Friend to Pollinators, published by the United States Department of Agriculture. I'm just going to read one line to you. How you can help? Leave dead tree trunks in your landscape for wood nesting bees and beetles. This is important, people. I'm here to ask for an exemption to keep my trees. Help me continue my efforts in pollinator conservation and increasing biodiversity in the area. Provide an exemption to not destroy pollinator habitat. This is Tree City, USA. This is Monroe. Dead or alive, these trees are important. Please help me save them. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you hearing any comments from anyone? Anyone else wishing to address the council? Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to close the public portion of the meeting. May I have a motion to that effect, please?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? Nay. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
Time of adjournment, need a roll call? We don't need a roll call.
Time is 8:20.
We're good?